When it comes to buying skates, there are a few things to look out for. No plastic trucks. Now, a plastic plate is okay to begin with, but don't get plastic and nylon mixed up. Nylon tends to be reinforced and is great, as is a metal plate. When it comes to wheels, you want to get urethane. An adjustable toe stop is a bonus, but it's not essential. A bolt-on will be just fine when you're starting out. So you're scrolling through a website and you're like, oh, there's so many different types. There's a hill skate, there's a hard shell skate, there's a trainer skate, there's a flat skate. What do I get? So let's talk about some of the types. So this video is sponsored by Loco skates. Now, they've been kind enough to send me 4 pairs of skates to help demonstrate the different types. Now, they've also given me a 10% off Moxi code. And if you buy skates using my link, which will be in the description, you'll get a free set of bearings, and they do ship internationally. So the first skate we're going to talk about are heeled skates, and now these are actually my preference when it comes to learning to skate, simply because the heel pushes your weight onto the ball of the foot, which is where you want your weight when you're roller skating. Because the last thing you want is the weight at the back of the skate, because then we do one of those nasty tailbone falls. So weight always sticks to that front truck. Loco sent me 2 different types of heeled skates, and these are the Chaya Deluxe in the colour Latte. Now, I have to say, these skates I'm absolutely impressed with, and I have done a separate video as a full review for these, because they are a fantastic skate for a beginner, but also they'll last you up until intermediate, because they've got the nice adjustable toe stop, fantastic truck action, and the boots are super comfortable. So one thing you need to look out for with the Chaya skates is sometimes it can look like they've got a plastic truck and a plastic plate, when in fact they're nylon or metal, but they do sometimes make their plates pretty. So you might see a coloured plate and truck and think, oh, it's plastic. But if you check the description, it will always tell you what it's made from. One thing to watch out for if you do buy a skate with a plastic plate is they do often come with a weight limit, so make sure that that is the weight limit that's suitable for an adult. One nice thing that Chaya have added in the box is a little diagram of telling you how to lace the hooks. Now, I always say lace them this way because it puts less pressure on the hooks and it also stops them from coming undone. Loco Skates also sent me some Moxi Beach Bunnies in peach, which I have to say are very pretty. And these are a really popular skate. Lots and lots of skaters do start out on these. When I tried these on, I was so shocked by the quality, but I don't know why, because they are made by Rydell, who have an outstanding reputation in the skate industry. But because they are Rydell's fashion brand, they are slightly higher priced, which is why Loco Skates have very kindly given me that 10% off code. When these arrived and I put them on, I did notice that the vinyl boot was very stiff. So I actually recommend lacing these so the lace goes over the top of the skate. This is going to help pull that vinyl in around your foot, and you're putting pressure of the lace on the boot and not against your foot. So this should make them more comfortable, pull them in more, and help them mold to your foot better. And they do come with the toe caps, which I know lots of skaters like to use to protect the toe of their boot when they start off. But if you use the toe cap, don't forget to put the hardware inside the toe cap, because otherwise, if you put anything between the metal, the nut, or the washer, they're going to keep coming undone. And the last thing you want to do is go for a toe stop that's not there. Most skates will need adjusting out of the box, and I did find the Chaya come with a very soft cushion, so you might need to either tighten the trucks or change the cushions on those. Now, with the Moxis, I was so surprised by the fluidness of the motion of the trucks, but again, they are Rydell and you can feel the quality. As I said, a heel skate is my preference because it pushes the weight to the ball of your foot. So it's going to be really good for recreational skaters because you can skate in a more upright position, which is why artistic skaters use them, because they can be more elegant when they're holding on one foot. And they're also really good for rhythm as well, because it makes your feet light because you've got this airiness on the toe. So overall, with the heel skates, both of these have really surprised me. Great quality for a setup like this, and they both last you into being an intermediate skater. So a flat skate or a trainer skate might be more of your style choice, but it's also technically quite different from a heel skate. So I'm calling this a flat skate, but even flat skates do have a slight heel. For instance, these Rio Roller Mayhems, if you look at the sole, it does actually increase as you get towards the heel. Now, a flat skate means that you have to skate in a much more squat position, which if you're going to play roller derby or go to the skate park can actually be an advantage. But if you're just going to cruise around the rink, it does mean that you're going to have to build up some serious leg muscles. Flat skates in this style, like the Mayhem, don't have a particularly strong boot because it's more of a trainer style. And also a lot of the flat skates come in a completely low cut boot. So it's below the ankle bone, which gives you that maneuverability if you are going to play things like derby or speed skating, but it does mean that you're going to have to get nice strong ankles. So a really nice feature of these Rio Roller Mayhems is the top two eyelets are green. Now I see these two green eyelets as a replacement for the hooks on the heeled skate. So to get the skate off and on easily, I actually unthread those two. I'm not a flat skate skater unless I'm at the skate park, but I got on really well with them. They were very easy to control. Again, a nice solid beginner skate. So the last pair that Loco Skate sent me are the Roces Pro 80. Now these are the hard shell skates. In the 80s, all the skater boys used to wear these, and they remind me of ice hockey skates. And now lots of skaters do an ice hockey boot conversion into quads. But in my mind, the Roces Pro 80 is a much easier option. Now, I've not skated in a hard shell skate before, so this was very interesting for me. Having put it on, I'm actually really impressed with it because it pushes my foot forward. So my ankle is pushed forwards, which inherently pushes my knee over my toe. So it does a very similar thing to the heeled skates. It pushes that weight onto the ball of your foot. So even though a flatter skate, because of the shell, it's pushing me forward. I couldn't physically straighten my knees in these skates. It makes you put your knee over your toe, which is fantastic. These do come with a much wider wheel, which is a pro and a con. So it gives you a much wider base. So if you're feeling unstable, you're a new skater, you've got a nice wide wheel, but it does make it easier to clip your wheels. So if you put your feet a little bit too close together, you can clip your wheels. Now, I think that's more of a problem for someone like me who's used to skating in a very narrow wheel. So perhaps if you're a beginner, it's only going to be the pros that you're going to have because you're going to be more stable. But do bear in mind that it is slightly easier to clip your wheels. So again, like the Rio Roller Mayhem, the Roces Pro 80 have got these two little hooks at the top, which aren't hooks, they're actually eyelets. But I, again, undid those to get my foot in and out much easier. So because they've got those nice wide wheels, I did find it ever so easy to get a nice edge, and also the cushions and trucks felt well set up out of the box. So flat, heeled, trainer, hard shell. It is ultimately a style preference, but it also depends on what type of skating you're going to be doing. If you're going to be doing recreational skating, rhythm skating, I'd always go for the heel. If you're looking to learn but ultimately play derby or be a speed skater or even a ramp skater, then starting in a flat skate is going to help you build the muscles you'll need to skate in a flat skate. But if your style preference is a hard shell, then again, I was really impressed with the way it pushes my weight forward. So also a really solid choice for a beginner. So as I mentioned, these skates were sent to me by Loco Skates. Now down in the description below, you will find a link. And if you follow the link and buy any of the skates that are recommended on my page, you will get a free set of bearings. I'm Katie, which is Skatie, and I'll see you next time. Bye!